Good morning. Your next project will be animating a character card. Make sure you rename your project as either Animate Character or as Project 2. With this project, you have several things you're going to accomplish. You're going to use the arrow keys to make something move. You're going to make your character jump up and down. That involves the Y location. You will switch poses, which means changing costumes. You will glide from point to point. You will have a walking, a flying, and a talking animation, and you will create a change on your character, your sprite. Okay, I want to go here. Okay, so here's your instructions. Each one has an instructions. So if you take a look at Move with Arrow Keys, you can see that right here your instructions are giving. These are very, very basic instructions, and you can always make them more advanced. You do not have to use the soccer field with the little alien guy. The next screen, or the next set of instructions, making your character jump. Again, Y is the one that you will change. So if you go change Y by 60, they move up 60 points. They wait there 3/10 of a second, and then you say change Y by a negative 60. If you go up a positive 60, you have to come down a negative 60. And here it says use the space bar, and you would click the space bar once you set this code and see if it works. Your next requirement would be switching poses. So here in this example, you can look at your screen and you will see that one costume the girl has is her arms are up. The next costume, her arms are down. So to do that, you would have to have an event happening. So your event is when the space bar is clicked. You want costume C. You're going to wait 3/10 of a second. You're going to go back to costume B. Now, what makes this really interesting is if you go over to your event handlers and you put a repeat in there, and you could repeat it 10 times, you would also need wait 3/10 of a second down here. But if you say repeat it 10 times, her arms would flap up and down 10 times. You can always make it a little bit more than what you see here. For instance, this is going to only happen one time. She's going to put her arms up and down, and it's over. The next requirement is gliding from point to point. So here you have a starting point of x negative 160 positive and y negative 130. You are telling this rocket ship to glide 1 second to a new location, a negative 40 for x and a 10 for y. But you get to set where you want. For instance, if you put a cat on the screen and there's a bowl of food for the cat at a certain location, have the cat glide to that location. You can always go above the minimum requirements, and these are always the minimum requirements. The next screen is talking about walking. Again, that is moving your costume, because the horse has a series of foot movements in different costumes. Make sure you take a good look at your instructions, and then you can always add extras. Your flying animation is to get it to move from point A to point B. And so that means you're getting it to move this way, and you're also getting the wings to flap. So your coding is here. Again, it's kind of trial and error. Try it, see what happens. You can always contact me. For this next scene, the talking, you're going to get the little talking bubble that comes up here, and you can actually have a conversation between characters if you wish. The last requirement is change something about this character. So if you go up here to costumes in your coding, they simply made this tongue become a much larger tongue. Try and have some fun with this. Again, if you have questions, my contact number and email are there. I prefer email first.